right, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting much of your time, we've got in the studio with us the one, the only actor, director, producer, the one and the only Femi Adebayo.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. Thank you. We are in the studio with Lenny.
What did he say?
Yeah, what don't have to
Now we will need subtitles.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And my first question is, how? How? Because I mean, you put out King of Thieves, I guess Nkoli, right? And then everybody's like, oof, this is something. This is beautiful. Like, how are you going to
keep that going?
Somewhere in your mind, you're like, you don't know
you're instantly coming, yeah.
So tell us how we just tell us the journey to Jagun Jagun first of all, before we go into the other aspects of it.
First and foremost, I've conceived the idea of Jagun Jagun before I even produced King of Thieves.
Oh,
that's the truth. Yeah. And for me, Jagun Jagun is a bigger project. You know, this is got a bigger scale than King of Thieves. Okay, but I need to, have a test run of the indigenous production into the global world. And that was why I came up with King of Thieves at first. So the acceptability globally gave me the confidence that now you cannot. Pushing the dream that you have. So Jagun Jagun has been my dream, passing out that social message in a cultural way, and that is it.
That passing of social message. That part where Botija was talking and then he now looked into the camera and paused.
Okay. Yeah, that's how you get it. You get it.
So wait. So why? Okay, I think just to get you clearly, right? You had the idea of Jagun Jagun, and then there was also King of Thieves.
Yeah.
But then you were like, you wanted to know whether there will be an acceptance. So let's push out King of Thieves first. Because Jagun Jagun is the passion project.
Yeah. Yes. You're very right. That's exactly it. Jagun Jagun is the passion project. So I had to now come back and say, okay, let me look for something smaller. To test run the global market. And I now went back to let me think of King of Thieves, and that was how I came back with King of Thieves. So basically, I have a complete storyline of Jagun Jagun before I even conceived
the concept of King of Thieves.
Yeah.
So one of the things, I'm sorry I have to say this, one of the things I liked about Jagun Jagun is whoever the makeup artist was, you hold him or her very closely.
Hacking effect.
Because they had a way of so I pay attention to details a whole lot.
Yeah.
You didn't shoot that film in one day.
Of course.
So I'm talking about like your character.
Yes,
and the makeup carried the same aura at every time. Another thing I liked was so when you see wickedness in a man,
it was there. It was there.
He had it at every time. He was conceiving something.
The demon were controlling.
And then I also I'm big on suspense too. You never see the relationship he had with his daughter coming until you get to that point. You don't even know who was the man, the secret man of valor at the battles. You had no idea who it was. And so this was a man that when he goes to kill, he kills all.
That's
spend the life of one person for a reason.
Exactly.
And I love when you see your films and it makes you think, like sincerely think. I think for me that's one of the things Jagun Jagun had done for me. It wasn't. I was here on the show 2 Saturdays ago when I said that. I clearly, and I say it again and again. Let the people that produced Woman King and pay attention to our appraisal. So one of the things Jagun Jagun did was an appraisal of the African topography.
Very true.
Very intense.
Very correct.
There was a reflection of I think 5 to 6 kingdoms.
Definitely.
And there was an aerial view of it to make you know. So I loved that intentionality. It wasn't just shooting a film.
Of course, there was intentionality about that. But let me come to Rosalind, right? I stumbled on Rosalind on Twitter, and she was really, really excited. Her energy was contagious, and I was like, okay, we needed to have her on the show, and luckily we had a contact in Emmanuel. Shout out to Emmanuel. Now let's talk about, because you spoke about the score, like there's certain parts of the score that you wrote. Tell us about your process. how you were able to come up to that place. I mean, you wrote like you one of the ones that you really spoke about was the one where Agema was exposed and everything. Tell us about that score. Tell us about how you're just preparing for that process of putting that whole thing together. Tell us about that.
Okay. First off, when we watched it without subtitles. I don't understand Yoruba. Okay. But then one thing was consistent, and that is emotion. Okay. And then Miss Annie Akmolayan was like, you have to do music inside this. So you have to compose a score. You understand? Compose a score for this. And then it was like, pick any sing. You get. And then I watched that thing, and that was where I could connect with more. I could connect with the intensity of the emotion. They're like, okay, something is really happening. I don't understand what they are speaking, but something is really happening here, and it's really selling a lot. And then when I said I had this interesting chord progression, I played it, and I went back to Miss Annie. We're like, it's not working, it's not working, go back again. So I did it consistently until I found I did it consistently until I found the melody, because I said it was just the chord progression. The chord progression was just there, but I needed to find a moving melody. I never had the pam 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 pam. And then I built it from there, and then I told it to him, and I was like, okay, I should call Tolu Obaro. And then he listened to it and was like, okay, you know what, he added some drums to make it really big. Added the drums and some conga, and really intensify the music.
I mean, one thing we say on this show, the reason why we just don't focus only on music, we focus on theme songs and soundtracks, is because we always say music plays a very important role in music, in conveying emotions. And I always like to give this example. You see a girl walking in front and you see a guy walking at the back. If that music is romantic, you will think, this is a romantic guy. He just wants to be by her all the time.
Definitely.
But if it's an eerie, ominous, very scary type of music, be like, okay,
All
right. So now, I mean, your performance, Femi Adebayo, your performance in Jagun Jagun as 𝐿𝐺𝐺, the son of Ogunroba, it's just something else. The demons were evident. So tell us how. Wait, let me just ask you. Tell us how you prepared for that particular role. Was it that in a former life you were?
I'm glad that I'm sitting here in former life, not in the present.
You do invade villages in your former life.
Well, 𝐿𝐺𝐺 is totally different from Femi Adebayo, as you can see. Because I had the picture in my head, as the producer. Yes. So I know the kind of character 𝐿𝐺𝐺 was. Funny enough, when I was putting up the story, I never thought I was going to play 𝐿𝐺𝐺. No.
Who are you looking at?
Yeah. I was not even thinking of casting myself. I actually wanted to, pay attention to details without playing any single role in that movie. Trust me. So when I got to a larger table, of course, before I bring up my script, I call script conferences, bring professionals, experts in the field, and so we analyze, criticize my storyline before getting on set. So we also do the casting together. So when I suggested my cast to them, they were like, no. This is the only time you have to prove your versatility. People have seen you play see the film you play King of Thieves, okay, King of Thieves was ruthless as well, but it has a major reason.
There was a reason.
So do one that there's no reason for him to be ruthless.
He's just ruthless.
He's just ruthless because he's powerful and he doesn't want anybody to take his place.
Now, see what intrigued me the most was the introduction. He came in saving someone's life.
Exactly.
And you would think the guy is a good guy.
So that was intentional
for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm back to your makeup artist.
Yeah.
I chops the guy's hands off.
Yeah.
And you can see the hand fidget.
Yeah.
And spill blood.
Yeah.
So I used to have a problem with Nigerian films before. When they kill people in Nigerian films, it's like we have blood shortage. We don't used to bleed in films. But over time, it's really evolved.
Yeah.
I could see you mess with blood every chance you had to mess with blood.
Yeah.
You did with your full chest.
There was when they stabbed so that comes to the attention to detail in this movie. Because when they stabbed what's his name, Dogumi, right, they stabbed Dogumi, and while he was still fighting the other guys, there was
consistently
so I love it. So at Lagos, you can be a part of this conversation. If you want to reach out to us to have a conversation with our guests in the studio, please feel free to do so. You can send us a WhatsApp message on 0817-313-6193, or you can call us on 0700-923-923-923. All right, we have a message here. This one says, "Hi there. There was this song, I will let you chop my money go. I will let you chop my money go." I've not seen Jagun Jagun, but it seems like remodeling the old Yoruba war movies that were looked down by people then, except the Tiwa. A big plus to those movies was that they had interesting plot, but weren't so TV friendly. With subtitles and HD imagery, I'm sure we will sell our culture to the world. I'm going to come back to that selling of the culture. It's important people appreciate that we have our own characters that don't need to imitate Western effects. Thank you. Which our people crave for because we're taught to dictate what belongs to us. Femi Adebayo has been long in the industry. Okay, so this is a question for you. It says, what does he have to say about the commercial side of things? We are aware that the foreign guys will throw money at us to own commercial rights while we accept so-called international stage, yet we lack support from the government. We're seeing it in the music industry lately, and I'm glad that people like Don Jazzy rejected that offer back then to build. So the commercial side of things, where people will just give you drop heavy money, bam, and then
let's take a call through before he sings.
He answers that one.
Okay, we lost that. 0700-923-923-923 is the WhatsApp number. 0700-923-923-923. You could call the studio line to be part of the conversation. 0817-313-6193 is the WhatsApp number. Reach us whichever is convenient for you. And Femi, we're back to you.
Yeah, so drop money and then collect our
the commercial part of our industry is extremely important, you know. And we cannot rule out the fact that
let's
sometimes you can okay, that's fine.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, welcome to the show. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, my name is Williams.
Williams, welcome to the show. Williams from Lekki, thank you for calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, I watched Jagun Jagun and I was blown away.
Thank you.
Very, very wonderful movie. I think Femi Adebayo has given himself in that movie. I was like, you know, it was so real and I could relate. The thing that got me the most was when the bees came to report to the king that his armies were losing the battle. You know, it made me to remember the story that I was told. You know, there was a great warrior in my village. That was in the early 50s. It is bees. He uses bees to get information. I actually relate to that part. And I was like, yes, this is more or less like what our ancestors did. You know, the likes of Ogedembe, the likes of Ogbori Elemosho. You know,
Sir, are you a Babalawo?
Please, this is.
Thank you so much.
This is good.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you
so much.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
I mean, that's so you're talking about the commercial part.
Yeah, I was saying that you know, sometimes you can be vulnerable, you know, and that has happened to the creative industry for so long, you know. But now the game has changed, you know. Okay, so when I came up with Jagun Jagun, and I was talking to different platforms and streamers, you know, and they were negotiating, and at a point one of them was telling me, Femi, look, you are the king here, so you determine where you want to take your film to.
Yes, true.
That is to tell you that, okay, they have identified with the fact that we are the kings as the creative minds, you know. So the game has changed from this very particular position.
Yes.
And as you can see in the music industry, you know, it has changed. You know, without the content, you can't even make money. The investors cannot be anywhere. You know. So.
Let me thread this vein that you've gone into, which is, you know, you being the king. But then some people would say, okay, yes, Femi Adebayo has been there for a while. So, you know, he says, like, if Femi Adebayo says he's bringing a movie to you, of course, you will say he's the king. But there's some people out there who are they just want somebody to buy this film off their hands. They just want, so they are willing to make certain compromises. What would you say to such situations?
So, like I've said a couple of interviews that I've granted, that you know, the creative minds needs to be orientated. You know, when you have, that talent in you, is what you should be able to, benefit till eternity.
Yes.
So we need to continue to, orientate ourselves as regards how you continue to make money as a creator.
Yes.
So based on that, I think it goes a long way. For those that want to sell it off once like that, I still think, we cannot rule out poverty in our society. But so many do not know their rights.
Okay, so the last caller ignited something for me, and I'm going to toss this question, then we'll go pay some bills and then come back to the question. The question would be, I have met conversations of people saying Yoruba language has been watered down, but some people think that Jagun Jagun took us to the place of the definite definitions of names, the meanings of names. So the question would be, how
see, there's one name.
How did you go about that?
See, we need to talk about genesis of that name, because
there is a tweet.
One of my children will bear that name.
Okay. There's a tweet here that says interpretations of indigenous Yoruba names, as earlier mentioned by the Ayo Adams,
Lagbayi,
the fellow Nigerians, I'm sorry, as used in the ladies and gentlemen, we are going to bring break and come back. Please. Why do you think I come?
Lagbayi, as used in Shawaride and now in Jagun Jagun. Does Lagbayi in Shawaride? Wow. And now in Jagun Jagun is a name attributed to wood carvers or those with vast knowledge about trees.
Exactly.
Again, real Femi Adebayo gave a proper and in-depth interpretation.
Ladies and gentlemen, you could be a part of this conversation. What do you think about the film Jagun Jagun? All right, so we're having conversations with Femi, and we also have Rosalind with us. But the last question we asked was, how did you come about the derivation for the exact interpretation of names on the film? What was the inspiration? What bore that space? Because we've literally had someone here saying that while we were seeing the film and people's names were mentioned, they kept going, I'm so sure that's what's happened to a lot of people when they were seeing these films. How did you come to that space?
So just like I said, I love paying attention to details, and from even the names of characters in my films, I want you to be able to relate. Okay, so I'm particular about names. And I bring up my names based on the analysis of each character. Okay, Ogundiji, which is my character name in Jagun Jagun, is a warrior. I think he's a warrior, and I want it to be like a faithful warrior that he is in the movie. So that I came up with Ogundiji. It's not Ogundiji, it's Ogundiji. Iji is storm. Ogun is war. War became storm.
So there's always a
so you created name.
Yes, I do. Like my daughter's name, 𝐿𝐍𝐿𝐿𝐿. I picked up the girl from a war. You understand? And she became somebody that is so special to me. So I named her 𝐿𝐍𝐿𝐿𝐿. Tales of war will never finish.
So let me tell you something I picked. Something else I picked from the movie, which I think would help everybody, like whether you are religious or not, is the character of Botija. Right. There was something he would always say. He would say, "I have made an oath with you.
You reminds you of covenant.
You cannot fail me here. I know your name. You cannot fail." And that was just beautiful. We'll talk about the horse riding and the
that was something else.
That was something else. I mean, I saw you in I saw you in King of Thieves. You were a horse, but then I think there were more horses on this particular set. Okay, so who's this person? This person, they
are coming for you.
Dissected the film. He said, God bless you for threading that question towards compromises. I am afraid of foreign influences directing ideas not indigenous to us, aka maybe Woman King. As a literature student, movies help us understand our history and culture more. Thank you for promoting your legacy, Alagba Femi. Shout out to my friend Jakumolu. This movie made me remember that name. You have gone into Yoruba part 2. But it says a warrior who claimed to kill 10 people in battle got home and actually trampled 10 chickens to death. If his war experts cannot be verified, the ones at home can at least be attested to. This Yoruba proverb encapsulates at least 2 timeless wisdoms and can be used to advise or warn in both contexts. First, people often unwittingly show who they are, and when they do, believe them. Second, recognize and give credit where is Jew? This one when Niger the warriors, Jagun Jagun and me on star. So before I come back to Femi Adebayo on selling the culture, selling the Nigerian culture with the deep Yoruba and not caring whether people understand or not. Rose, let's talk about the job of a dialogue editor. Okay. What is that? Because people out there who can be going, I wrote me dialogue editor. What is the work of a dialogue editor?
Okay, so usually when we watch the film, after talking with your producer or whoever is in charge, we discuss with the editor on the way to collect the file via AAF, audio hotspot, and then when we load this into our system, there's the way the wave clips are arranged. So basically, when you switch on set, we have the boom microphone and the lab microphone. So when you load the process, what you're going to do first of all is select the best mic. Yes. Okay, because depending on
how many mics are there? It's not
depending. Just one. Everyone how many mics right now?
Sorry, I'm seeing 90.
No, so I got really excited. I was so excited noticing that thing. Miking it's really beautiful.
So and then we are also selecting in tune with the shot. Okay. Because when somebody is talking from far, you cannot always have to rely on only the lab. Yeah. The sound it defeats the whole thing. You will tell when you listen to it. Yes. So basically, when you watch it, you select the best mic in relation to the scene or the shot. Okay, wide shot, close shot, medium shot, and pick the best mic. There are sometimes we might not really have very good audio. That's when we now have to start talking about having ADR. You get. So basically, you pick the best microphone on the and balance everything so that when you're watching it, one dialogue is not louder than the other, one, and then we remove this close water. Yes. Okay, remove your pop and clicks and all of that, so that when you're watching your film, you're not distracted by all of that. You're not distracted. You just flowing smoothly. You understand?
And that's beautiful. Lagos. See, Rosie is responsible for the smooth sound that you hear. You're not hearing. All right. So 2 questions before we have to let Femi Adebayo go. So 1, let's talk about the culture selling to the world, because it's on Netflix, and I'm sure if you check now, it's probably at number 1 now.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely
something that came on live on Thursday. And today is Saturday.
It's
the audacity to be cocky is when
Okay, now let me
something good.
Okay, let me show you. It became number 1 on the day of release in Nigeria. Number 4 in UK yesterday, and number 19 in the world today. World, yeah.
I'm not even shocked about that UK one. I'm not even shocked because we are plenty there. So first question, let's talk about the culture, selling it to the world, and the second question, that person that you realize that you reveal to us at the end.
We must not talk about that. We must not talk about that one.
The question I will ask is there going to be a part 2?
A part 2.
Okay, that's fine.
Let's talk about the culture.
There is a part 2.
So personally, I'm a Yoruba man, and I know that we have very beautiful culture in Yoruba land. So many that are yet untapped. Okay, I was lucky to serve as the special advisor to His Excellency in Kwara State as on art, culture, and tourism.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and apart from being a filmmaker majorly in Yoruba. Okay, so I learned a lot about the Yoruba culture, and I saw the beautiful, and so many of my friends that are even Yorubas do not even know this culture, and the beautiful. So I thought, okay, anytime I have the opportunity of showcasing this beautiful culture to the world, I will consistently do. So when I made King of Thieves, and I got it right. So I made a vow to myself, okay, on yearly basis, one epic film from me. Once
every year.
Once every
like Christmas.
year. Yeah, exactly. So I feel so Yoruba culture, is underrated. So and that is why I will consistently do that.
I mean, when you see Agemo behaving like Flash,
exactly.
That's it. That's it.
Sometimes the argument knife will not even touch you before you're dead. Just the feel of it, you are gone.
And so this brings me back to that question you asked, if there's going to be a part 2, and my conviction why I would say, and I expect him not to say yes because he has to serve us the suspense. But then when you look at set designs today, you know they spent money on that. They did not scatter it. They did not scatter it. How do you know? The images. So when you walk into his palace, there's some moldings there. I think he just took it to Mbogobri and that's it to them.
Well, that is the scale of project. That's the scale of project. But I can proudly tell anyone that cares to listen, there will be a sequel to Jagun Jagun.
So I saw a tweet where someone was like, everybody is here. The person said, while he was watching the movie, he said, everybody is here except this one person. And then at the end, he saw that one person. He said, yes!
That's just the beginning.
That's it. It's just the beginning. Sir, before we go, any final words to? I mean, you're doing great things with Jagun Jagun, King of Thieves. Speak to the world.
Okay, so I want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to all my fans, everybody that have seen Jagun Jagun, the reviews. You know, it's been overwhelming. I must confess, in my entire career, I've never seen or recorded this kind of a success in movies that I've produced, and this is a motivation, is a challenge for me.
Oh yeah.
You know, I keep going back to my script because I'm getting on set in the next few months for another project. I have to go back to the script like, man, am I sure I'm gonna beat Jagun Jagun? And somebody said to me, you produce King of Thieves and you like, well, you can't beat it, and we beat it with Jagun Jagun. By his grace, we're gonna beat Jagun Jagun again.
Amen. All right, Rosalind, final words.
Okay.
Just say a big thank you to everybody. People are loving Jagun Jagun. People are loving. It's been Jagun Jagun has been on the trend list since Thursday. It has been there since Thursday. Whether one person, maybe Ogundiji, we but that Jagun Jagun name, it has been on the list since Thursday, and it's beautiful. So Rosie, just say something to the world.
Just watch it. I mean, everybody has been saying, just watch it. You're going to feel a whole range of emotions. No, you're going to be really excited. You're going to be like, wow, you're going to cry. I mean, you're going to feel a lot of emotion. So just go and watch it. The beautiful film.
All right, we'll take a music break, but thank you so much, Femi Adebayo and Rosalind,
thank you for having me,
for being here with us today. We're overjoyed. We're glad. I mean, it was a fingers crossed thing that we would have even Femi Adebayo here on the weekend that the film came out.
I don't feel like we have Femi Adebayo here.
No, there are so many.
It's beautiful, to find you in this space, and the fact that you're doing things the way you're doing them. It's time. There's a mantra we have on the show that says, watch Nollywood. And thank you for giving us reasons to tell people
watch
to watch
Nollywood. Yes, I don't tell Anthony watch Jagun Jagun. I know you don't watch Nigerian films. This one, go and watch it. But before we go, just like you to just give us a little bit. You have to give us a little Ogundiji juice before we watch it. Thank you so much.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sí ilé ológun. Ilé ológun. Akíkanjú tó bá lógun ní pété ogun.
I love it.
Do you know it is now I am appreciating the voice of the
standard. Let's go.
I get you.
All right, guys. We'll take a short break, and while we let our guests go.
Did you enjoy this video? Hit the subscribe button for more. Leave a comment and like. Thank you.